Most executives don't approve technology because they understand it. They approve it because the market is moving fast, the board expects decisiveness, everyone else already bought it. This isn't incompetence, it's a system designed for speed, not clarity. In this episode, we're going to unpack why this behavior is rational, where digital transformations really fail, and how great leaders make tech decisions without becoming technologists. Maurice, over to you.
Thank you so much, Michael. So my name is Maurice, head of digital transformation, and yeah, as you said before, we're going to talk a lot about all the kind of decisions that the executives have to make while not understanding actually what they really are buying. So, Michael, you've reviewed hundreds of tech investments like this, all the proposals, all the RFPs. Walk me through a typical approval meeting today, and how is that conversation actually like?
I think a typical meeting goes very different than what a lot of people expect. Usually, the meeting starts with a problem. It starts with a sense of urgency. We have a problem within our systems. We are being challenged in the marketplace. Our customer is requesting functionality and products we don't have, right? So at that moment in time, you either have somebody from your technical leadership, your CTO, your VP of transformation, your head of product walking in. I have the perfect solution to this problem. They present a couple of slides, and from that moment on, a multi-million euro budget is requested. And
Yeah.
as a leadership, it's very difficult to say no.
Yeah. And that's actually the core insight, right? It's not the incompetence, it's the rational behavior under the asymmetric pressure. And the market moves faster, right? Especially in IT and technology with the advancements of AI. And it moves way faster than the ability to understand it, especially for executives that are busy with other things. Your board expects you to have the decisiveness that you need, but and everyone also bought it already, right? You were just talking about the competitors.
Yep.
And yeah, it's a very simple math then. It's approve, 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 because yeah, you have the fear of missing out and everyone is pressuring you. Why wouldn't you?
I think that the fear of missing out is the biggest problem, right? It makes any decision process liquid, Maurice. So at that moment in time, you have to understand that a typical board, with obviously the exception of your CTO, they're not technically literate, right? They're not technically savvy, as in they are leaning on the people in the room who are presenting or supporting to understand whether this is a good proposal or not.
That is absolutely true. But here's what's funny, because here's what research shows: 90% of C-suite executives rate themselves as advanced or expert in AI knowledge, right? If you take AI knowledge as example, and only 8% actually have substantial conceptual knowledge of that. I think it has more to do with the Dunning-Kruger effect, right? That you think you know everything, but you actually don't know, you don't know nothing about it. And that really makes you also give you the certain kind of feeling that you know everything, right? Everyone uses their ChatGPT and feels that they're an AI
Yeah,
specialist nowadays. It's the same thing with people that think that they can plug in a computer and feel like they're in IT, right?
that's what I think. I can make my computer work again by turning it off and on, Maurice. So I'm IT literate, but in all seriousness, I think the challenge is both the literacy, as you're referring to, but I think a similar big problem is that executives feel they need to be decisive, right?
It's
That's what we
the
talked about.
approval paradox, right? It's the approval paradox.
Exactly.
They systematically approve tech. They don't understand, not because they're stupid, right? But because the approval system is designed for speed and not clarity.
Yeah. And specifically when you talk about AI, I actually feel for the modern day executive, right? Because everybody fears missing out on the AI opportunity in front of them. But the reality is, and there's a lot of news published about this and a lot of reports being written about this, most AI initiatives don't actually yield the return that companies envision. when they actually make the decision to make the investment in AI. I think that that
Absolutely.
is a
Yeah.
massive problem, Maurice.
Yeah, and it's the same thing with the general digital transformation projects. The failure rate backs this up. Like 70% of digital transformations fail, not because the technology is bad, but because the decision to deploy it was made without the proper governance gates, no scenario planning, no risk assessment, and also no maturity of the organization itself to really
Yeah.
adapt to that change.
Yeah, I would love to pick your brain about that because I think, looking back at my experience with large scale IT transformation projects, I'm going to be very honest. Most of them didn't quite go as well, nor as fast, nor within, well, remotely within the budget that we actually set out to do. And a lot to do had it with the organizational capacity to actually manage such a large scale transformation project, Maurice.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's one of the things that people most of the times forget. They think it's just a technology. We just buy it. It's like people just buying a New Year's resolution gym membership, and they expect now they've purchased it. Now I'm going to be fit. It's actually the same for companies. We're now buying a new software or new technology or new AI, and now our world is going to change. Right? It doesn't
Yeah.
work that way. It doesn't work. It creates it requires behavioral change of your leaders, but also your employees, the customers, everyone, right? It's a change of habits. It's a change of way of working, right? And most organizations, if they look at technology and AI, they only make the decision on the side of, oh, we need to have a new software most of the times because everyone is pressuring them on it. Take, for example, AI. But they often forget the amount of input and change that is required on the organizational side to really get it done and to really get it implemented inside of the organization. I mean, organizations have hundreds and hundreds of tools inside of their organization that they don't even use or they are not even aware that people are using that, right? And that's
Yeah.
a very, very big problem. Getting back to that, going to the board and the paradox of those decisions most of the time are made of following the herd, right? Especially in AI. Huh? And you can compare that as like you're driving in a highway at a highway very fast, and then you're driving in fog, and then you see everyone else take that same exit. What are you doing? Yeah, following the herd feels safer than stopping and to check the map or to check your phone. So what are you going to do? You're going to follow the herd. So that's what usually also happens. They follow the
Yep.
trends, they follow the momentum, they follow the pressure from the news, from the competitors that feel like they're way ahead in the game, right? So they get a lot of pressure, and that's why they make those decisions to then, first of all, make the decision way too fast and not involving and not taking into account the governance that you have to have in order to really get it done properly.
Yeah, and I think coming back to the governance, that takes a discipline that a lot of organizations struggle with. Let me elaborate, right? So there's in any proposal, there's a certain level of uncertainty, Maurice. You know that as well. When you're pitching for doing technology projects with clients, but you spend a lot of your time and energy on de-risking your proposals, right?
Yeah,
So what you typically see within a corporate environment is that pressure to de-risk your proposal is not quite there because you're part of you're one organization, right? So what you're seeing is that the team, the people that need to de-risk, which is the technology expert, the product experts, right, the commercial team, doesn't have that same pressure towards their executives team to really flag these are the risks, right? This is the
yeah,
stretch that we have within the budget, or this is what we consider glass half full. This is what we consider glass half empty. So what do you see? You see a perpetual glass half full proposal. If everything works the way we envisioned it, it's going to be done in 1 year
and it's going
within
to change our
budget, and it's going to
lives.
deliver all the functionality we have.
Yeah,
Whether anybody in IT typically knows, and any business executives who has been involved and around IT for a longer period of time, those things never happen. That's why you continuously need to de-risk what you're doing.
Absolutely, I agree. And yeah, second of also is second on that is also the complexity, right? So you're just talking about we need to include this person and that person. It's very very hard to have
Yep.
the understanding, but also to have a collective and aligned point of view inside of an organization with all these different opinions uh, from their perspective and their side of the business, and then collectively decide on what is the best thing. I mean, how many times do we see that? We see it in almost with every client we have and every a new company we talk to, right? We see it over and over again. It's so hard to get everyone on the same page, right?
Yeah.
And
You need the buy-in of all the key stakeholders. And
yeah,
um,
yeah. And there was a funny thing that my mentor always said to me is, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one, right? Yeah.
it's
I just wanted to say, yeah,
I think
we're from the Netherlands. It's like
I think
ladies.
that is a great mentor. And while we're being anecdotal, one of the more complex transformations I was involved in a few years back as a back office transformation, which is
Yeah,
always a lot of complexity. But there we actually got it partially right. So we had a very committed and dedicated team preparing for the decision, preparing for the recommendation. And what they did, Maurice, they made really based on individual functionality, a rack status, right? Red, amber, green. So they
yeah,
actually
yeah,
color coded the whole functionality. And then I want to kind of bridge to another topic, right? That's executive bias.
yeah,
So what happened was that the executive team was really leaning towards a solution because it was reputable, it was used by their peers, it was known, it represented well towards the board, to the investors, and they saw this, very they saw a lot of amber and a lot of red on this overview. And they basically said, well, this is not that bad. So that can go from red to amber. This is actually much better than what you guys think. We're going to make it from amber to green. So the whole color changed and the proposal was approved.
yeah, yeah,
And, and the project burned and flamed out over a period of 3 years.
yeah,
A multi-million investment sunk
yeah.
simply because people were not aligned regarding the risks of the decision.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's you have to have. It takes so many things into account, and most of the times, what also makes it very difficult in IT and technology and digital transformation, problems that happen today usually pop up only half a year later or a year later or 2 years later when you are going to production or when you are starting to test out the full end-to-end product, right?
Yep.
So a lot of organizations, while they are working on their digital transformation plan or the things that they've just signed off to, is they think everything goes all right until everything goes south, and that's usually at the
Yeah.
end of the line. But that's not because at the end of the line everything goes bad. No, it happened the complete cycle, and especially the cycle pre-signing, right? Well, because we're just talking about the board approvals. They sign it off. Okay, they start. Here you go. All the work that happens prior to that
Yep.
is the most vital information. And
I
actually you
fully agree.
should actually you start, okay, you have to take into account, okay, most of the board members that have to sign off don't have this knowledge.
Yeah.
So within your organization you should actually set up a framework of working where you can take that into account and also mitigate that risk. Make sure that you, as your IT unit or whoever is responsible for this initiative, already prepares everything so that whatever the board is going to sign off, it already has these risk mitigations. It already has these scenarios built in. So that is definitely going to give you like 50% risk mitigated even before it's even signed, right?
Maurice, where were you when I was running this project years ago? I would have made my life so much easier. I think what you just said in the last 2 minutes is probably what any listener from this podcast should remember. Forget about everything I said, which is anecdotal, interesting. Those 2 minutes, I think, is what people need to remember. The work is done prior to the decision. The
Yeah.
decision needs to be based on a thorough analysis that really allows you to move forward with the risk identified, potential mitigation. You go in eyes open now, Maurice.
Yeah, absolutely, Michael. And I think also one thing to add on that, by the way, thank you for your nice words, is you know how fast we always do everything, right? But we spend, and the reason why we're so fast is because we spend so much time on preparation. Preparation is half the work, and we take it very, very slowly. We take maybe 5 times, maybe 10 times more time on preparation than most organizations. As a famous quote is from I think the Navy SEALs: "Slow is smooth, smooth is fast."
Yeah.
You really want to make sure that what you do is done effectively, and that starts with all the preparation work, all the prep sessions, the foundational work, and then you can accelerate very, very quickly. So that all happens like I think it's like the Chinese bamboo. Chinese bamboo, it doesn't grow above ground for like the first 4 to 5 years or something, and then
Yeah.
it grows with meters in years or in months. It's insane, and that's a little bit of the philosophy that you you have to lean into if you take a very strong approach. I truly believe in that. That's making the difference. So.
I think you're spot on, Maurice, and I think this is a great segue to wrapping up this podcast for today, because I think we really hit the nail with this topic, and I really appreciate you chiming in.
And we're talking quickly again. Eh? I mean, 17 minutes. Time flies. I thought it was only 5. We just
Time
lost the
flies when you're
talk.
having fun, Maurice. That's the way it goes.
Yeah, exactly. Like and comment and spread the word about this podcast. And if you have any questions or would you like to have our blueprints or what we use in as frameworks, just reach out to either Mike or to me.